Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today I'm going to be picking my 26-man England squad ahead of the upcoming friendlies and the European Championships this summer. In just a few days time, England manager Gareth Southgate will be doing the same and picking his team he wants at the Euros. So it's getting to that time of year where everyone is thinking who they take on the plane to the European Championships, and today I'm going to be doing the same. So throughout today's video I'm going to be picking my 26-man England squad as well as my starting 11 I think should kick off England's Euro campaign against Croatia on the 13th of June. But let's get straight into picking this 26-man squad then, with kicking off with the goalkeepers. I'm going to be taking 3 goalkeepers to the Euros, obviously Pickford, Pope and Henderson. There's obviously been a lot of other names bounced around. Obviously, you got Johnson from West Brom as well as a few others. But I think they're the 3 that I would take. I think they're probably England's best 3 goalkeepers, with Pickford at Everton, Pope at Burnley and Dean Henderson at Manchester United. Obviously got Pickford, he's got England experience not only in friendlies but obviously in the Championship as well, obviously playing in the World Cup back in 2018. Pope, he's playing weekly in the Premier League against the likes of Sergio Aguero, Mohamed Salah, Harry Kane as well. So I think he should definitely be in that 26-man squad. And also Dean Henderson, who last season with Sheffield United basically surprised every football fan, really, didn't he? With Sheffield United, as well as this season battling with arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world in David De Gea for Man United's number 1 shirt. So I think I'll be taking all 3 of those to the Euros. Let's move on to the defence then. We've obviously got left back. I'll start off with that. I'm only going to take 2 left backs. Obviously I've seen a few people picking 3 left backs to take, but I'm only going to take 2. They're Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell. We'll start off with Luke Shaw, obviously one of Man United's player of the season. He's been absolutely brilliant for United this season. And I think he's got to start really at the Euros, doesn't he? We'll obviously go on to that in a bit, but I think he's been one of the best left backs in the league, not only English left backs, but one of the best left backs in the league, Luke Shaw. So I think he's definitely got to be on the plane. I think a lot of football fans would agree with me, especially people who have been watching the Premier League this season. And then second of all, you got Ben Chilwell, another very good season for Ben Chilwell, obviously. Moving to Chelsea and then obviously playing pretty much weekly. Obviously has been taken out a few weeks, but he has been a main player in Chelsea this season. Obviously, as I'm filming this, it's about 20 to 4, so Chelsea will be looking to get into that top 4 spot and get Champions League football next season. By the time this is out on YouTube, you will all know watching this if Chelsea did get in there. But even if they don't, Ben Chilwell still has a very good season with Chelsea at that left back role. So I think both of them definitely do deserve to be on the plane. I've seen it like Saka being of Arsenal being shouted about as well, making the England squad. But I think Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell would be able to do a job at left back for England in the Euros. Centre back, I'm actually going to take 4, and there's a few surprises in here. I've obviously got John Stones, who's been absolutely fantastic, along Diaz this season for Manchester City, obviously going on to win the league as well. And second of all, I got Harry Maguire, obviously had a few injuries this season, but overall been pretty good. And both of those have had a lot of England experience, obviously in the 2018 World Cup as well as having a lot of caps in friendlies and other tournaments as well. And then 2 others that are obviously a bit younger and haven't had that much experience in an England shirt, if not any. We got Tomori. He's obviously been at AC Milan this season in Italy, and he's had a very good season. A lot of people who I know have been shouting for him to be in the Italian team of the season, let alone one of AC Milan's best players this season. So I think he's definitely got to go. I think the other ones you could shout is Tyrone Mings, maybe, but I think Tyrone has just got a few too many mistakes in him, and as well as he's obviously got a lot of experience, but I don't know if I would I would want to put him in an England backline in the European Championships where we want to go on to win it, really. I think I'd be much more happy with a Stones and Tomori maybe partnership at the back than maybe a Stones and Tyrone Mings. And then my final and fourth centre-back I've got is Godfrey, and I think Godfrey's one of those players that won't start every game in the Euros, if any, but I think he is a good player that would bring on. He's obviously had a very good season at Everton this time round in the Premier League, and I think those four, I'm very happy with those four at centre back. If one of them get injured, I wouldn't be annoyed if maybe Stones got injured, that Tomori or Godfrey or even Maguire would have to step in and play that centre back role. So I think that's why I've got those four as the centre backs. Then moving on to right back, obviously one of them can do a job at centre back. Obviously Kyle Walker, the likes of Maguire, who obviously has been the leader really at the back over the 2018 World Cup and in friendlies as well over the last few years. So Kyle Walker, if maybe Maguire does sadly get injured, he can do a job in centre back. So I think that's why I've gone and bought him. And then the other two I've got to making up the three right backs is Trent Alexander-Arnold, which I know a lot of people have been saying that maybe because he hasn't had the best season with Liverpool this season doesn't deserve to make that squad. But personally, I believe obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold, the likes of corners and free kicks are going to be massive in the Euros. We saw it in the World Cup with obviously Kieran Trippier's one, but I think the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, he might not start every game with the form he's on, but overall he is a very, very good player, and just because of one pretty bad season with Liverpool doesn't mean that he's a bad footballer. I think Walker and Trent as well, and even Reece James, who's my third one, who's obviously had a very good season coming through at Chelsea. All three of them, again, I'd be perfectly happy to stick on a right back for any of the group games and even the knockout rounds. So I think that's why I've got that defensive unit really of the left backs, centre backs and right backs. I don't think any player out of all those defenders there, I wouldn't be scared to put them in a starting 11 really at any game in the Euro. So I think that's why I've got all of them there. And I let me know down below if you would put anyone else. I know you've obviously got Mings, who's Saka as well, who I haven't put in there, but that's my defence that I reckon should go to the Euros. But let me know down below who you do think should be the defenders at the Euros. And let's move on to the midfielders. So then the midfield, probably one of the most controversial spaces in the England squad. Not in a bad way, but the amount of talent England have got in those areas. And with that talent, I've had to split it up into centre midfielders, the ones that can sit back and defend if needed, to the attacking midfielders, who obviously we've got a lot of talent England in that space. So I'm going to start off with the centre midfielders, the ones that can defend but can attack as well. And I've gone for 4 centre midfielders, and I've gone with Jordan Henderson from Liverpool, Declan Rice from West Ham, Calvin Phillips, which may surprise a few of you from Leeds, and Jude Bellingham as well, who's had a brilliant season at Borussia Dortmund. So we'll start off with Henderson. Henderson, I think, is one of those players that is very, very good footballer, but as well, he's got that experience as well, doesn't he? In previous England games, obviously he was at the World Cup in 2018. I think he may have even been in the Euros back in 2016. So I think Henderson, even though he's injured, and at the moment I do believe, I think hopefully he will make it into the Euros. And I think even though he may not start every game, he's just one of those players that it's good to have around the squad. And with the 3 extra players this time, I think he does have to be put in there. But I think a lot of people I've seen haven't put Henderson in and only gone with the 3 centre midfielders. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys think. Again, let me know down below. But I think Henderson has to go, because last season as well, I think he was one of the best players in the league last season. So I think he definitely has to go to the Euros. Next up, I've got Declan Rice, who again has had I'll put Phillips in as well. Rice and Phillips have both had amazing seasons with West Ham and Leeds respectively. Rice definitely with West Ham, obviously alongside Souček in the middle, has been absolutely phenomenal this season. Phillips as well, coming up from the Championship with Leeds. He's looked like a Premier League player that's been playing in the Premier League for years. So I think they both has to go as well. But they are both quite young as well. Like I was said, we've got a lot of young talent in that midfield area. So I think those two have to go. And another very young player that has a lot of talent, I've gone with Jude Bellingham. Obviously, with Dortmund this season, playing along the likes of Sancho and Erling Haaland, and he has been absolutely phenomenal. Not only in the Bundesliga, but in the Champions League as well. We obviously saw him against the likes of Manchester City, playing alongside. We're playing against the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, and playing just as well as Kevin De Bruyne. Really, he's been absolutely phenomenal this season, Jude Bellingham, and I think he definitely has to be on the plane to the Euros. So now let's go into the attacking midfielders, which I would probably say is one of the most controversial places in this England squad, because you've got so much talent there with the likes of Grealish, Maddison, Mount, Foden, Lingard, along with many others. But I've gone with three, and I've gone with Mount, Foden and Lingard. I'll start off with Mount and Foden. I think they've both been probably two of the best players this season, and I think either one of them could easily go on and win Player of the Season. I think Foden has probably been just that little bit better this season with Manchester City than Mount with Chelsea, but Foden's just been phenomenal again in both Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup and the Champions League as well. Obviously, both of them playing in the Champions League final next against each other on next weekend, so it'll be interesting to see who does come out on top there. But I don't think there's even a conversation really. I think they both easily get in. I would even go as far to say they both start really as well. I think they've both been phenomenal this season. Next up, we've got Lingard as well, and I think I may surprise a few of you. Obviously, he's been pretty poor in recent seasons, but this season, moving to West Ham, he looks like a new player. He's been absolutely amazing at West Ham. Has Jesse Lingard. I think with the 26 again, we've got those 3 extra places that we can add a little bit of a few other players that probably wouldn't make the 23-man squad. But with that 26-man squad, I think he's one of those players that has been lucky enough with the extra 3 players to get into the 26-man squad again. He might not start every game like Jordan Henderson, but I think one of those players that comes on in the 70th minute, maybe against Czech Republic or Scotland or even Croatia, we might be 1-0 down. He'll be one of the players to come on and could go and score a goal and make a difference. So I think they will be my 3 attacking midfielders in Mount, Foden and Lingard. Now we've got the wingers. We've got left wingers and right wingers. Now on the left wingers, I've got Grealish and Rashford. Grealish has been absolutely amazing with Aston Villa this season. Obviously, he did have an injury just a few months ago, but he's getting back to playing with Villa over the last few games, and he's been very good this season. Has Jack Grealish, arguably one of their best players this season. Obviously, there's been rumours that he could be leaving Villa to the likes of Man United, Man City, Tottenham, but I think he's probably another one of those players that with the 26-man squad, he's been able to get in there. I think him, Lingard and Henderson would probably be the ones that would be dropped if it wasn't for the extra 3 players. But I think all 3 of them, especially Lingard and Grealish, do definitely deserve to be in that England squad, as well as Marcus Rashford as well, who has been very good with Man United this season. Man United had a very good season, looking like they're going to finish second in the league, obviously behind neighbours Manchester City, but I think they've both been very good and definitely deserve that place on the plane. Next up, we got right wingers. Then I've got Sancho again, who's had a phenomenal season playing in the Bundesliga and the Champions League with Borussia Dortmund, and I think him along with Bellingham both do deserve that squad in the England on the plane this season. Even if it was 23, I'd put them both in as well. I think they've both been very, very good this season, and I think they definitely deserve, especially Bellingham and Sancho, they definitely deserve that place in the England setup. Again, he might not start, but I think he definitely does deserve to. And same with Raheem Sterling. Sterling's one of those players that has his ups and downs in a season, doesn't he? Along with a lot of players in this team. But there's been times this season where he's been absolutely brilliant. But I think a few more times that he's just let down Man City a bit. But I would still put him in that England setup Again, he might not start every game, but he's another one of those players that will be able to play up front if a striker does get injured. But he's a great player, Raheem Sterling, and I think he definitely does deserve that place on the England plane heading into the Euros. Finally, then, for the 26-man squad, we've got these strikers. I've gone for Harry Kane, obviously. It sounds like he's going to get a move away from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this season. But I think he definitely does deserve that place in the England squad. He hasn't had the best season this season with Tottenham, but he is a great player. England's probably captain, really, over the last few years. And the Golden Boot winner in the World Cup last time round. So I think he definitely deserves to be on the plane. And also we've got Ollie Watkins, which may surprise a few of you, but I've gone with Ollie Watkins as that other striker. He's obviously had a pretty good season, moving from Brentford to Aston Villa in the summer, and I think he does deserve. Yeah, again, I think he's another one of those players that has been lucky with the 26-man extra 3 players. I think he's definitely, and I think that's how he's definitely got into that squad. So that's my 26-man squad heading into the Euros, which I would definitely be very happy about. Let me know down below if you do disagree. Who would you change in that squad? So then we've gone through the 26 players I believe should be on the plane to the European Championships this summer. Obviously, let me know down below if you do agree, because this is obviously a massive debate, really. So let me know if you do agree with me. Have I missed anyone out? I probably have. And then also say who would you take to the Euros in the summer? I think I've done a pretty good job there, but obviously everyone has an opinion. A lot of you probably have a different opinion than me. So let me know down below if you agree, disagree. And where do you think he'll finish in the European Championships with my squad that I've picked there, or your squad that you're going to comment down below. But now let's go on to my starting 11 ahead of the first game against Croatia on the 13th of June. So less than a month away now. So in goal, I'm going to start off with Jordan Pickford. I'm going to play with the 4-2-3-1. Obviously, we know Gareth Southgate does like to play with 5 at the back, but in recent friendlies he's played with 4 at the back. So I'm going to go 4-2-3-1. That's four defenders, really, 2 centre midfielders, 3 attacking midfielders / wingers, really, and then 1 lone striker up top. So in goal, I've gone Jordan Pickford. A back 4 of Luke Shaw, John Stones, Harry Maguire, and Kyle Walker. Now, Luke Shaw, as I said earlier, has been one of Man United's best players, and I think the best left back in the league. So I think he definitely has to start. And on the other side, Kyle Walker, I think he's been one of, if not the best right back in the league this season in the Premier League, ahead of the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Reece James. And then in the centre-back role, I've gone for John Stones and Harry Maguire. Obviously, Harry Maguire being that leader England have needed and have had in the last few years, and John Stones has had a phenomenal season with Man City this season. Now, in the midfield role, I've got Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. As I said, Jude Bellingham has had a phenomenal, amazing season with Dortmund this season, I think he does deserve to start after the season he has had. And I've gone with Declan Rice as well to partner him there. I think it will massively decide on who starts that game against Croatia, in who does do and plays well in those positions against the likes of Austria, Romania, in those international friendlies ahead of the championships in the summer. So I think that's how we will sort of know who's going to start against Croatia. But this is just my team, who I think should start ahead of all of the friendlies and the Euros as well. And then in the attacking midfield area, really, you've got the 3. I'm going to go Mason Mount in between Jadon Sancho and Phil Foden. So you've got Mason Mount sitting just behind the striker, Jadon Sancho and Phil Foden on the wings, on like left and right midfield, if you like. if you get what I mean. So obviously Jordan Sancho again had an amazing season alongside Jude Bellingham at Dortmund. Phil Foden and Mason Mount I obviously have talked about already. They've been amazing this season. So I think that they would be the three I would start. That's a very young midfield as well, isn't it? You've got Declan Rice, Bellingham, Mount, Sancho and Phil Foden. The only worry I would have is, will they be able to play against the likes of Modric at Croatia? But I think they would. I definitely think they would. You could see that with Phil Foden and Mason Mount getting into the final of the Champions League against, obviously beating the likes of Real Madrid, and Jude Bellingham obviously getting into the semi-final, and Jadon Sancho getting into the semi-final with Dortmund. And then up top I've gone with Harry Kane, obviously looking for a move away from Tottenham this season, but I think you can't really go wrong with Harry Kane, really. He's an amazing striker, got it all, left foot, right foot, can head the ball, can keep up the ball, can pass. He's got everything in a striker he needs. And I think that team would be able to beat a team like Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic in the group stages of the Euros. But again, let me know if you do agree with that starting 11 as well. Obviously, that's out of my 26-man squad I've gone for. But that's my 26-man squad and starting 11 ahead of the upcoming European Championships. As I said one last time, let me know down below if you do agree, disagree, and who would you start against Croatia on Sunday the 13th of June. Thank you all for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to smash a like and subscribe. On the road to 600 subscribers. Can we hit that before the start of the Euros? I've got a few more big videos coming up ahead of the Euros, with a few special guests as well, obviously Euro predictions, all of that sort of stuff, as well as a weekly European Championship predictions with the likes of Match Day with Max on, hopefully have the likes of Villa on tour on due to Journey. All of those sorts of people will be joining me for that. So if you did enjoy, make sure to smash a like and subscribe, turn notifications so you never miss a new video from me ahead of this European Championships and this amazing summer ahead. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Come on, you Reds.